Alright, we will go ahead and hop into this video. I'm going to be using the Bad Habit Retro Love palette because it's very pretty. So just to kind of speed things up a bit, I did go ahead and take the Tarte Shape Tape in Fair, and I applied that right below my brow just to kind of clean up the brow, make it look really nice, and have a nice smooth type of canvas for my highlight color later. And then I had taken the e.l.f. Beautifully Bare Nude Linen Liquid Eyeshadow, and I literally just applied it right on my eyelid in the inner corner, and then I buffed it out. I've let it set for about 2 minutes now, so we can move on to all the fun stuff. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is take a NARS eyeshadow. This is a cream eyeshadow single. It's in the shade Cayenne. I'm going to use just a little bit on the outer V of my eye. I know it sounds crazy. As much as I love this palette, a lot of the colors seem, at least a lot of the darker colors, they get lost a bit whenever you blend them out, and I really do want to have a little bit of a smoky effect. I need something underneath to keep things bold. So that's what this is for. But I'm going to go ahead and pat this and slightly blend it out a bit on the outer lid, and I'm going to bring a little bit into that crease and right above the crease. It looks a little crazy right now, and that's completely fine. I'm going to take another brush. This is from Wet n Wild, and I'm going to kind of blend this a little bit before it dries, and it does dry fast, so you have to work rather quickly with this. I'm going to hop into this palette, and I'm going to take a shade here called Rebel, and this is kind of like a mustardy type of yellow. I'm going to apply it into my crease and above my crease. So next I'm going to go into this shade right here. It's called Fab. It's similar to Rebel, but it's a lot more orange. So with this, I'm literally just going to go right into the crease to kind of add a little bit more depth, but I'm staying below the edge of the other color that we had just applied. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my eyelid. And I'm literally applying it everywhere, even the outer edge. I'm grabbing a shade right here called Peace, and I am just applying this right on the edge of that yellow. I'm actually going to blend. I'm grabbing a shade here called Youth, which is right here. It's a very pretty brown shade, and very small amount at a time because too much can make it look really, really muddy. So I'm applying it on the outer edge where we applied that brown cream eyeshadow. Now, as you guys can see, it's starting to add a little bit more depth. I'm applying it into the crease as well. Icon is a duochrome kind of yellow-green gold shade, and it almost has like a little bit of orange. Super pretty. And I'm going to use it damp with the e.l.f. Illuminating Mist and Set. And I'm going to apply it basically on 2/3 of my eyelid. So we're going to do like a 2/3 cut crease. So I am applying this on my eyelid. And I'm stopping about 2/3 of the way over, right where it meets that brown. So next I'm going to go into a shade here called Nostalgia, and I'm using just a very, very small amount. I'm just going to go on the outer edge of this and kind of build up a little bit of color here in my crease. I'm going to hop into a shade here called Mod, and this is a dark kind of forest green shade. Again, this is one of those shades where it kind of washes away, so you have to be careful with blending it. And I'm applying just a little bit here to the outer edge, just like I did with that other brown shade. And then I'm going to bring it again into the crease, and then I'm going to be doing some blending. so I'm going to go ahead and do the highlight on my brow bone, and I wanted a nice kind of really soft but pigmented vanilla shade. So I'm going in with my Beauty Creations Tease Me palette. I'm grabbing the shade in here called Lies. It's beautiful, it's matte, and more importantly, it's the color I'm looking for, and it's super pigmented. And I'm going to just kind of carve out my brows. And I'm going to soften where they meet. And I am going to use two eyeliners. The first one is going to be from Inglot. It is the AMC Gel Liner in 77, which is black. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the inner part of my eye and connect to the wing using the e.l.f. Precision Liquid Liner, and they only had one shade available. It's black. This is now discontinued, but I always say you guys can find this on eBay, you can find it on Amazon. Amazing eyeliner. So next we're going to go ahead and do mascara and move on to the lower eyelid area. So for the mascara today, I am using the Wet n Wild Lash-O-Matic Duo, and I'm going to go in with the mascara first. Coat these bad boys pretty heavily, I might add. And grab that same NARS eyeshadow that I used earlier. Since it's a little bit sheer and it's a cream, it's perfect to kind of hold other eyeshadow on top of it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this right along the outer edge of my eye. And I'm going to keep it pretty close to my waterline here. I'm going to pop into the shade called Fab right here. Now, this is incredibly pigmented, so I'm just going to take a little bit, and I'm actually going to pat off the excess. But I'm going to apply this right on top of that brown eyeshadow that I just applied by NARS. I'm going to grab the shade called Free Love, which is the darkest green in this palette. And I'm only applying this to the outer edge of the under eye area. I'm going to connect it to that liner. And I'm going to do a little bit of blending. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take an eyeliner from Urban Decay. This is the 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Junkie, which is a beautiful glitter green. Oh my god, this was my favorite color for like 2 or 3 years. Loved it, still love it. I've moved on to other shades, but if I'm looking for something kind of bold, sparkly, and green, this is what I go for. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this shade strictly to my waterline. Okay, so I hope that you guys can see that pop of color there. It might be a little hard with my lighting, so I do apologize, but it changes the game. Like, I love the eyeshadow without it, but with it, it's just like, I don't know, it makes you look twice, and I really like that. I'm going to go ahead and take my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Stargazer. This is one of their Moon Dust colors, and I'm applying it just to the inner corner here. Okay, so this is the completed look using the eyeshadow palette, which I do love, but I do want to get into some pros and some cons of this palette. Pros, price. Price is phenomenal, okay? Like, I'm the kind of person, I can make almost anything work, and I may have to add extra products to it to get it to work, but I will work with that product. I will get it to do what I need it to do. It'll take some time, it'll take some extra products in the mix, but it can happen. So if you're like me and you're looking for something on a budget that's awesome, this is definitely it. However, I mentioned, and the whole pro goes into the cons as well. So you do have to add extra ingredients to your mix in order to make this work in a lot of cases. So what I have found is I use a cream eyeshadow, I can use an eyeliner and smudge it out where I'm going to be applying some of these darker shades. Particularly, This shade here, this shade here, this shade here, this shade here. I want to say this one and this one right here. The other shades are completely fine. This actually comes with 2 duochromes and 1 metallic like foil eyeshadow. Metallic foil eyeshadow, it's good on its own. The other 2 shadows that are duochrome, beautiful, by the way. Let me go ahead and just swatch all 3 of these for you guys, so that way you guys can at least see them. I feel like these 3 shades by themselves make this palette worth it. Plus, it has a few type of like mustard, orange, yellow shades in it that I did not personally already have. So that was beneficial for me as well. Now, with these metallic shades, I have tried them wet. I have tried them with a glitter glue primer. They work perfect. However, you will have different results depending on if you use a liquid medium versus a glue. So the glue is just going to keep all the glitter and everything intact. There's going to be a little bit of dimension there, but if you use it wet, you end up with this, like a metallic foil type of look. It's really up to you. It's all about preference and what you're going for. So I do think this is an amazing palette, but again, keep in mind the cons. It's going to be one of those deals where you're going to have to use other products with it in order to get it to work the way you want it to. If you do not mind that and you're just looking for a nice solid palette that has some yellows, it's got some duochromes, it has metallics, you're gold. This is definitely affordable and I do like it and I will be reaching for it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you guys know how to reach me. And I have a giveaway. It's about ready to begin, so I will be making a video with details on that. So definitely subscribe and stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.